The world is mine, nigga, get back. Don't fuck with my stack, the gauge is whacked. About to drop the bomb, I'm the motherfucking dime.
What's going on, y'all? This is Chin with Needy Negro News, here to save you from historical amnesia. And from the title, just let me go ahead and say this. Of course it's real. Of course, white supremacy is a real thing. But in case you haven't heard, Tucker Carlson actually thinks the direct opposite. Here's a clip from his show.
But the whole thing is a lie. If you were to assemble a list, a hierarchy of concerns, of problems this country faces, where would white supremacy be on the list? Right up there with Russia, probably. It's actually not a real problem in America. The combined membership of every white supremacist organization in this country, would they be able to fit inside a college football stadium? I mean, seriously. This is a country where the average person is getting poorer, where the suicide rate is spiking. White supremacy, that's the problem. This is a hoax. Just like the Russia hoax, it's a conspiracy theory used to divide the country and keep a hold on power.
This man literally said on national TV that white supremacy is a hoax, that it's not a real issue here in America. Psh, the fuck? Tell that shit to my ancestors. Yes, and of course, if you haven't seen already, that was on Fox News. Hey, this is a joke, right? You know what's the thing I don't get about Fox News? Why is everything a hoax to you guys? Climate change, hoax. Russia investigation, hoax. Side note, which the Mueller investigation actually said that Russia did tamper in our election. And white supremacy, hoax. Bruh, y'all stay tripping. And for some context, let's just actually define white supremacy. White supremacy, as defined by Google, is the belief that white people are superior to those of all other races, especially the black race, and should therefore dominate society. And yes, that's literally the Google definition. And if you ever picked up a history book, you would see that this is what America has been based on. This ain't no new shit. This shit has always happened. White people have literally brought this ideal from one side of the planet to the next, wrapped in a term called colonialism. From first stepping foot here and causing genocide on the people that were already here, to slavery, to the mistreatment of immigrants who weren't of white background. This is kind of what America's always done. Do you guys remember that old term that we learned? What was it called? Manifest destiny? The belief or doctrine that the US will expand throughout the Americas from one coast to the next and that it was inevitable? What? Nigga, that's some wild ass shit. Jim Crow laws, segregation, voter suppressing laws. All these things happen because of white supremacy. The KKK still exists today because of white supremacy. And I know what y'all niggas is already thinking. Well, Chin, why you bringing up all this old stuff? That's the past America. We're in a post-racial society. Oh, are we? Let me remind y'all niggas a few things. So the Charleston shooter, who opened fire in a black church in hopes of reaching a white audience to wake them up to the threat to America posed by non-white minorities. His goal was to start a political movement, the spark for a race war in the US. He's quoted stating, "I would rather live in prison knowing I took action for my race than live with the torture of standing idle. I did what I thought would make the biggest wave." Hey, hold on, don't go nowhere yet. There's more. There's the Pittsburgh shooter, who singled out a Jewish group that focuses on refugee resettlement. He's quoted stating, "HIAS likes to bring invaders in that kill our people. I can't sit by and watch my people get slaughtered," he wrote on an alt-right site just before committing the crimes. And let's not forget the white nationalist rally that happened in Charlottesville, where hundreds of supporters showed up screaming, "White Lives Matter," and "We will not be replaced." And yes, this is the same white nationalist rally where one of the supporters plowed through a bunch of counter activists, killing a young woman. And then you have the most recent tragic display of white supremacy through intimidation, the El Paso shooting. He says in his manifesto that he hopes his act of violence scares off Hispanic migrants and sets a tone for the current Hispanic population to leave the US. Neo-Nazis, white nationalists, neo-Confederates, the KKK, all of these white supremacist groups are always selling this fear of demographic doom. All these organizations have this notion that America is a white nation that through mass immigration and higher birth rates among non-whites is eventually going to replace them. The browning of America, the white genocide. Also, according to the FBI, and yes, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna quote the FBI, Since 9/11, more Americans have died by the hands of domestic terrorists than Islamic terrorists since 9/11. And God, can we please stop using mental health as a scapegoat whenever these acts of violence happen? Yo, look, Tucker Carlson. The reason why you believe white supremacy is a hoax is because you never had to suffer from the negative repercussions of it. Therefore, you believe it doesn't exist. You know what I could probably guess you think is also a hoax? White privilege, because that's exactly what you have. So if it's one thing that history has taught us, it's that when white supremacy feels challenged, it retaliates with violence and intimidation. This same violence, intimidation that seeps into our political system. So I'm gonna leave you with this question. Haven't you heard this story before? Hey, what up, y'all? This is Chin with Needed Negro News. Y'all don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna have more videos dropping for y'all. You know, go ahead and refer me to your friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. I got y'all.